They now have the lockdown and the answer to a very annoying Harif. But the question is always gonna be if whether this big chunky man is able to run up to a slippery Harif.
Got a big Lance. Irad Lancelot. Now that's quite interesting here.
It's been a while.
Geek Fam banned out 4 assassins once again. Interestingly enough, I think Julian was still open, but they decided to go for Lance instead, just to have a hero that's a little harder to lock it down on top of Ruby.
Lance.
Very good ways of canceling the CC coming in from a Geek Fam. And
wait a
second.
Okay, this
Masha
is still
EXP.
with
Masha EXP is still a thing. I mean, you can definitely still do that.
Okay, if we were to play towards Geek Fam's usual playstyle and comfort picks here, I talk about give and take, right?
Yeah.
Now, instead of Beloyski being the annoying one, now you've got a Masha who's the annoying one. In this case, XP's got to be flexible a little bit
XP is gonna be
here.
the one that does that now.
I don't think it's gonna be a Franco XP, but
no.
most likely it is gonna be a Masha.
I think that would be a huge throw if they were to do that.
True.
Yeah,
But
to be Franco.
to be frank, though, wow. I see that, pun lord. I see that.
This is off to a great start, ladies and gentlemen, as we are jumping into the land of dawn here with game number 2 between Geek Fam ID versus RSGPH. I excuse myself and bring in back to IC Baby and Sadafa.
Thank you so much, Abstract. Here we are going to be jumping straight into game here. Will this be a redemption for RSGPH, or will Geek Fam cheese their way to victory? Because this is going to be game 2 between RSGPH versus Geek Fam ID.
Will Beloyski be able to recreate the same success we saw earlier? Because Hellcurt was very, very annoying, but now he doesn't have access to that. He does have a great hook though, so it's going to be interesting to see whether Geek Fam can make use of that overall, because normally you would want your roamer to have a good amount of AoE, right, against a Luo Yi, and Franco is not that.
Yeah, and well, as soon as we said that, the hook didn't really commit to this whole Aqua preemptively used the flicker to kind of back out to safety. So that's going to be a little bit win points coming from in here. But look at this, Iran getting very aggressive here, almost taking our boy down. So they is going to be able to back off for now. Another hook attempt coming from Beloyski, not connecting here. Nothing super crazy yet, but we do see attempts being made so far from both sides.
One of these is gonna land eventually, and it is going to be very exciting when it does. But until it does, it means that Geek Fam is not going to have a lot of that early game pressure. There were good movements earlier from both Aqua and Aboy to make sure they weren't easily picked off from ganks. So the game is still gonna be proceeding without too much action.
Well, speaking of action here, who's saying, oh no, he's taking a little bit too much damage there. Caldera overcommits a little bit here. He's looking, trying to go in for the finish there, but he's a little bit trouble. Sidesteps his way through, but somehow he wins his gold lane for a little bit. Meanwhile, middle lane here, first blood in the hands of Aqua. RSGPH, they got the kill, and now here it comes. Divergent comes in right behind the back lines of Vincent. They are going to take the turtle and take the kill, instantly getting for a 2-for-1 special. In this case, a bang for a buck. Buy one, free one special.
And that's always going to be the scary part of playing against a Luo Yi. You never know where the diversion could show up. They used it to get behind Vincent, but they could have just as easily used it to gank Kadera up top. So there's always needs to be a way for Geek Fam to make sure they know where Aqua is going. And I'm not sure if they're going to have the resources to do so, especially with RSG feeling more comfortable now, even able to get that first blood in the mid lane.
Well, speaking of first bloods right now, because Geek Fam, this feels like a repeat from game 1, right? Like RGPH, they were dominating the early game here. They're getting so much lane control and everything. It comes down to Beloyski making no space. But this time, Geek Fam forced to play default there. It's going to be a lot more pressure on Gobs to actually make these plays on this Masha. And so far, as you can see, Masha is actually struggling against Nebo right now.
It is to be expected somewhat here. Masha early game is not all that good, and Ruby is able to regen a lot of the poke that comes out anyway. Light, he has been teleported up here. Kadera, luckily not gonna play too aggro. I think he realizes something is amiss.
Well, so in this case, Vincent gonna continue their default plan here. Geek Fam just biding for time for now, but economy swing-wise, RGPH is starting to lead Barely 40 minutes of the game, they're 1k ahead, and it may not be a big amount, but considering that this is the early game, that is pretty huge for RSGPH.
We already know how important it is for this team to be able to snowball off that early game, so this start is already great for them, especially this time as well. Geek Fam doesn't have a hero like Moskov to be able to fall back to, right? Their gold lane is Roger, who scales pretty well in damage, but nowhere near to the level of a Moskov.
Oh no, here he comes. They go in for the fight as well. Beloyski gonna be first to fall. Vincent tries to buy a little bit more time here. We've got the Dominance Descent coming in, but they are able to trade only Aqua for Beloyski. So as of yet, Geek Fam, they're very happy with this trade. Nibor trying to extend the fight, but look at this, the nightmarish spawn is just so annoying. And finally, Gobs joins the fight, but he's all by himself. He can't seem to finish off lights, but he's down towards 2 bars. He's gonna try and fight Iran. He needs to get out, and he's gonna die. They secure the turtle for Geek Fam as well as getting a kill on Iran. RSGPH now, they're gonna try and extend the fight, but he saves our boy's life with the hook, but does he get out? No, he does not, but he forces Nibor to commit, and because of this, does he get punished? Gobs, he's trying to do a lot more damage, but the hook from Beloyski continues. Aqua respawn, rejoins the fight and says, no, Geek Fam, no more for you.
I think Geek Fam could have afforded to leave that fight a little bit earlier because they were actually winning out quite handily there, with Gauss being able to get Irad and the turtle in one fell swoop. Unfortunately, they forgot about Aqua's presence. Loyi does a lot more damage than just TPing people around. So if not for that, that would have been 100% Geek Fam victory.
Oh, they overextended their stay by a lot, and now with the Divergent coming in, I think the spawn links coming in from the Zaz actually scouted that Divergent play. And Geek Fam, they're just once again playing very safe here, not knowing where the rest of RSGPH are. Vincent now getting caught up in 2-man stun. I'm offended, connects on 2. They get completely blasted by Aqua. RSGPH continuing to go in for the catch. Caldera stuck under turret. He's gonna get pulled back, but does he survive? No, he does not. Light will finish him off, and the global presence of RSGPH starting to crack into the defense of Geek Fam right now.
And this is the problem with a hero like Frankro nowadays, right? With so much aggression coming in from most teams and so much mobility to be able to move around the map together, you usually want to make sure your roam, or at least your main form of setup, has AoE to be able to deal with it. And Frankro just does not provide that. Beloyski, he got a good hook into the tower, but then Nivor just does the same on multiple members instead.
Oh, what a save coming from Light here. Can they get Nibor in time? No, they cannot. And one good hook is all they need. And Beloyski is able to find one before this third turtle. 5v4. No dominance descent so far from the side of Geek Fam, but they do have the Nightmare spawn. Do they secure the turtle once more? Yes, they do. Gobs throwing his body to the back lines. He wants to finish off Iran, and they find Iran again. And another hook from Beloyski. What a hook by Geek Fam. And in one fell swoop, they get not 1, not 2, but 3 heroes, as well as the turtle from the side of Geek Fam.
I think this series is demonstrating that Geek Fam are the masters of disruption in MLBB. They're so good at getting in your head, getting under your skin. RSG, they seemed like they had control of the turtle there, but Beloyski is just throwing out hooks left and right, actually picking people off. And Gobs, this Mashak really came out of left field for them. RSG was not prepared to deal with this sort of damage. Lance should be able to escape from most things, but not from that thunderclap.
You know, expect the unexpected, right? Like, after this hurdle fight here, usually you kind of back off and play a little bit safe, but look at how Gobs was just in the face of Iran, making sure that he cannot steal anything. But another beautiful hook from Beloyski is just so annoying to work with, because technically, again, common sense says that you take the turtle, we're too far off, we got, I would say, Gobs out to safety, we should back off. No! Geek Fam just says, you know what, I'm just gonna... Whee!
Where's the... hold on, Divergent, a big one.
The back lines, Gadera, he needs to make a run for it, Mo, but they don't get the kill on towards him as well. Beloyski getting stunned away by the yin-yang reactions here. He is going to be the first to fall, but at the same time, the Dominance Descent comes in, but it's not enough damage to punish this. So that's going to be a good jump from RSGPH, but look at this, Iran! He finds our boy without his spell. He goes in for the dive. He executes him. And that's gonna be 2-0. Meanwhile, Gobs is looking for Iran. Do they go for this? They don't have the numbers here. Well, Loyski just spawned, but they are gonna lose a tier 2 for now.
I think that's fine for Geek fam. It is acceptable losses considering everything. Hold on, Gobs is actually still waiting back there. Could find something maybe, but I think he wants Irad ideally.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough here, but Gobs, he gets pulled back into this fight. He's got the help, but here comes the hook to catch onto his light. He is gonna get bursted down here. Gobs flickers away. He's gonna eventually fall to Aqua, but Geek fam, they force a fight when you least expect it. They go 1-for-1. But RGPH, they're getting very smart about this here. No, they're going for the fight as well. They go in behind and they find one. Our boy comes out of the spawning and he will fall as well. And Geek fam, they lose the tempo. Here comes the hook from Aloyski, but was it worth it? Because RSGPH just got so much damage from Aqua.
Geekman really just needs a harder front line here, which is surprising when they have Franco and Baxia, but they're really not surviving long enough due to the AoE damage coming out of Aqua. Despite the strong hooks from Baloyski, Geekfam are having difficulty truly following up, especially when their team has been split apart. They need to make sure they're the ones dictating the tempo, and it is turning out that this game is a lot closer than we would have initially predicted.
Oh boy, this is smart. Finally, RGPH finally holds in their composure and choose when and where they want to fight. Wait for those outs up on our boy. Once he gets out, goes to the back lines and going for the fight. In this case, now they're committing onto his Gobs. Geekfam says, we're sick of you right now. And RGPH just takes him out of the equation. Geekfam just could not respond in time.
Yeah, there's a Loyi proving to be a lot bigger of an issue here. Abstract asked earlier, is global presence a thing? I think it might be.
Oh my goodness, Loyski getting completely shredded by Aqua here. 10, 2, and 5. They are going to be scrambling to pieces here. RSGPH continues their assault, diving back towards the crystal as well. They get everyone. Our boy left to defend here. Gobs finally reveals himself, but Aqua once more kills him off. Divergent, can they get out to safety? Yes, they can. Gobs now 1v1s Nibor. He gets the kill, but the damage has been done. The damage has been done onto the basis of Geekfam.
The crystal now exposed. RSG Philippines heavily in the advantage in terms of structures surviving. And we can see that the lack of AoE CC or even damage from Geekfam is really hurting them, because RSG feel completely safe to just mass diversion right in front of them, because they know there is nothing Geekfam can do to actually punish.
Oh boy, this is just a back and throw game so far. Geekfam somehow still manages to defend, but again, the damage has been done. They still have a little bit of hope here, but it's only a 5k network difference. So it's not that big of a difference now as the game progresses slowly into the later stage of the game. So it all comes down to that one big hook. Or in this case, can they deal with those divergent plays from Aqua? Because he is playing out of his mind this game.
Oh, speaking of, there it is once again. They're looking for Kadera.
Oh no, conceal plays. Can they get him as well? No, they are going to try and buy it a little bit more time. Gobs, we're able to find Kusei. They turn the tide, double kill for them, and they're looking for a triple. They made the mistake. They have learned, and Gobs gets the triple, and now RSG, they have to run for their lives. Kadera looking to try and catch this off, but the tier 1 still stands. They won't be able to get out to safety. Geekfam will only have to settle with 3 with 15 seconds left on the Lord. They need to get even more. They're stealing resources away from RGPH. But again, was this all worth it? Because RSG, they're going to be respawning in 3 seconds. I'm offended comes in. They extend the fight. Iran, you cannot die here. They kill Gobs, but does he survive? No, he does not. He loses his life. But Geekfam says it's enough. We have to relieve. Aqua is back online. Divergent comes in. We need to reset this. Can they get out to safety? Vincent is in trouble. Our boy walking back to his base as well. But Loyski gets completely stranded here. He is going to fall to buy time for the rest of the members to come back online, and this is not looking good for Geekfam. They overstayed their stay.
I have to say, all of that started in the fight outside of Geek's base by Valoisky having a flicker bloody hunt into Winter's Crown. So there was no way for him to be CC'd out of the bloody hunt, thereby holding Kusi down until he could be finished off. A very nice interaction there from the newly revamped item. Geek fam now going to be returning to contest the Lord. Diversion going to be scouted out here.
No way. Iran, he needs to get out, Gops. He is on the second bar as well. 1.5 bar for the Lord. Do they get the reset? Yes, they do. So Geek fam is able to hold on. But again, RSGPH, they need to catch Kadera and our boy. It comes to the 50-50. Iran wins it, and now they are gonna go in for an all-out brawl. Nibor first to fall, and Geek fam looking for a little bit more. Iran needs to run. He needs to back off. They cannot bleed a little bit too much here. Kadera takes a little bit too much damage. He sidesteps the Phantom Execution. Valoisky with the flicker who does not connect. And Geek fam says, okay, enough. Too much. Too much action for this one game. Too much.
We are seeing an incredible exchange of blows from RSG Philippines and Geek fam right now. Neither team willing to give an inch. And Geek fam showing that they are truly contenders despite a weaker early game presence.
Okay, here he comes. 3 of them so far, 3v5. The rest of the teams are grouping up slowly here. The Nightmarish spawn is slowly delaying the Lord push, but Geek fam, they have to clear it out quickly here. Aqua, 3-man catch coming in as well. The Nightmarish spawn is going to be outside to buy a little bit more time to zone them out, and because of this, they will be able to safely defend against this Lord. Meanwhile, next tier 3 assault coming in. RSGPH, do they commit? It seems like they can't really do too much here. They have to clear the minions. RSGPH will take it down. Hok doesn't connect for Valoisky. That means RSGPH is coming in. Geek fan waiting for the right moment. The Hok once more does not connect.
Yeah, this is a very tense situation right now. RSG looking to get every single inhibitor.
A big catch coming in from the Ruby here as well. Geek fam, they're taking so much damage. They completely crumble. Vincent also falling. 2v5 against the wall. Kadera is trying his best, but it's going to be a little bit too much here. Crystal is going to fall. RSGPH hammers their way through, and they take the Crystal, dragging this into game number 3.
A truly valiant effort here from Geek fam, but some mistakes in positioning, being caught out. Nibor finding the ideal opportunities over and over again, basically replaying what happened to them in game number 1. And we are going to our first full series of the day here in Stream B.
What a intense match here. I don't know. I feel like I need Abstract to kind of dissect this for us right now. Abstract, what do you think of that intense match?
There's a little bit too much to unpack. There's so much. I mean, this for number 1 is our very first 3-game series of the day, and it is great that we are able to find out if whether Icy Baby and Sadafa is correct or I am correct, as in which prediction goes.
Well, technically all of us got it correct in a sense where it is going to be
it is a 3-game series.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
At least we are all on the same page there, and it feels uncomfortable that we are on the same page. Okay, but in all seriousness, I gotta have to say, RSGPH, they definitely have some glimpse of uncertainty and some desperation, and that's definitely something that we have seen as a common trait out of RSGPH time and time again in game number 1 and even in game number 2. Specifically in this game at 12 minutes and 30 seconds, you guys understood that Geek fam, undoubtedly, they are the masters of disruption, and they are so good at picking off. The last thing that you would want to do as a team that plays around AoE and team fights is to find justification out of your diversions and conceal and chase the enemies. So understandably, when you chase the enemies, there is always a marching order. Who's faster? Who's slowest? And that gave Geek fam ID that opportunity to catch RSGPH and deal with them one by one. And I thought that would have been the turning factor to give Geek fam ID that win.
I think in this match here, a perfect summary for how do we describe this match, it's a good reference would be chess and speed chess. And I feel like in that game, it felt like speed chess between both RSGPH and Geek fam. It came down to pixel perfect moments. It came down to you make this move, I'm gonna make this move. You make this move, I'm gonna make this move. And it has to be very, very fast. And it all comes down to playing towards each other's timings.
Yeah, it was very chaotic overall, where RSG, again, were in control early on. Geek Fam made the comeback, able to take control thanks to Gobs being able to just wreak havoc among the backline. I still maintain the sentiment that if Geek Fam had a AoE setup hero instead, they could have made a lot of difference. And if RSGPH didn't have Aqua, then they probably would have folded a lot earlier, because they actually were making a lot of mistakes. Like Geek Fam were punishing them for overextending a lot of time.
Exactly.
So both teams still have a lot that they need to fix, and it shows that there's both sides are very tenacious.
Yeah, this as close as it gets, I did not expect that Geek Fam would still put up such an amazing fight here in game number 2 here. I was secretly kind of rooting for Geek Fam a little bit here to kind of close up the games, but again, it comes down to who makes mistakes, right? Speed chess and normal chess, difference, very simple. Normal chess, you have time to think, play towards your time strength. Speed chess, you have to move so fast to the point that you will make mistakes. And who makes more mistakes is going to be the winning factor or deciding factor for each of these teams. But nevertheless here, the MVP for this match is going to be Nibor. And I agree, because that last type of vendor catch was so good as a setup.
Exactly. That is what they want to play into, right? Pure AoE. You are relying on one another in